So, click on that comment. I posted a video last night from band practice. I'm a drummer. I play drums. I started playing drums when I was 8. I'm 57 years old. It's a funny story. When I was 6 years old, for some reason, my parents signed me up for piano lessons. I wanted a drum. I got piano lessons. Looking back, I really wish that I would have stuck with piano lessons and also gotten a drum. I would have a much better understanding of like actual music if I had learned how to play piano, if I had learned how to read music, if I had had some education in music theory. At the time, when I was 6 years old, I hated the piano. I wanted nothing to do with the piano. I started getting sick right before my piano lessons. My parents quickly caught on, or the kid's not into piano. Fine. I wanted a drum. So when I was 7, they got me a violin. And because, we had a little orchestra thing going on at the elementary school that I was going to. So I got a violin. And several months into that situation, I accidentally, I have no idea how it got there, put my violin in between my mattress and box springs and jumped up and down on my bed. I still wanted a drum. Finally, when I was 8 years old, they got me a drum. They got me a snare drum. And my mom found this crusty old jazz drummer named Ray Raikel at Coil Music in Columbus, Ohio, who agreed to give me drum lessons. And I started drum lessons, I think, when I was 9. And when I would go for my drum lessons, it was this tiny, tiny little room with no windows at the music store. And there were 2 little 4-piece drum sets that were like facing each other. And I would go in there and Ray would chain smoke through our lessons. So this was probably like 1977, 1978, something like that. And so I started playing drums. And I was very lucky. I was very fortunate that he had the patience to deal with a pretty severely ADHD 9-year-old kid who just wanted to be a drummer, who had no focus, had no patience, just wanted it right now kind of thing. But I was also very lucky that drumming and playing drums was the very first thing in my life that came easy to me right out of the gate. I could just play drums like immediately. Like I just knew how to do it. I still to this day I don't quite understand that, but I knew how to do it. And then I think when I was like 11 or 12, I stuck with it, and I finally got my first drum set for Christmas, a little 5-piece Maxwin used drum set. And I drove my entire family completely insane for several years because all I wanted to do was play drums. And that was really all I did do for quite a few years. And I just knew how to do it. First time I sat down behind a drum set, I knew how to do it. It was just there. And I was very lucky for that. I'm to this day, very grateful for that. And humbly speaking, I'm a good drummer. And I've been a good drummer since I was a kid. I mean, I started playing in bands when I was probably, 14 years old. But it is and always has been a very solid part of just the foundation of me and who I am and what I am and what's important to me. And, I just automatically understood rhythm and the subtleties of rhythm and things like that. Um, y- you know, I highly, 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 highly recommend anybody and everybody to take drum lessons. It's just the most fun you will ever have in your entire life. It is just such a ridiculous amount of fun. And I've also been incredibly lucky over the years to be in so many bands with so many good friends and to just be, I've always just been surrounded by incredibly talented musicians and singers and guitar players and songwriters. And I've been in some really amazing bands over the years. And I've played some incredible live shows over the years. It's just been one of the best parts of my life since I was a little kid. I can't imagine not having that as a part of my existence. Just can't. It would be worse than losing an arm. It just would be if I didn't have that.